It appears we are live. Good morning, everybody. I am Bear with BearIndependent.com, that guy from the internet. We're going to do the brief today. It's 27 November 23. If you're one of those schlubs that watches the show but isn't subscribed, I would invite you to do what adults do and subscribe, ring the little bell icon, leave a comment for the YouTube algorithm. Robots, if you're one of those people that is already subscribed, you know what to do. Share the show with somebody that you love. 5x5 in the chat, TMC, Titanium Legs, Randon, Prime Survival. Appreciate y'all. Hey. Shh. Thank you. Now, of course, the show is brought to you by the creator of the universe. His name's Yahweh, your Elohim, the Lord, your God. You should check him out. He's pretty dope, as my brother Bob would say. It's also brought to you by the people on Patreon, link in the description. We'll talk about that later. And this company right here, this little tiny company, refugemedical.com, that I was blessed to have started in my barn. And now, praise Yah, is on 4 continents with 108 total lives saved. So I think that's pretty banging. He is pretty dope, says the 12C. Speaking of pretty dope, 12C, I'll have you know the tomahawk that you sent to my brother Bob has already inflicted a grievous wound. He took it out of the sheath, and immediately a 5x9 gauze pad was employed. Immediately. Luckily, he works here, and so if you're going to sustain an injury, this is the best place on planet Earth to sustain an injury. 5x5 and a deer blind with a bear fac. I like it, dead man. Fabulous. Tremendous. All right. Bear brief, 27 November 23. We're going to talk about Hamas and civil unrest, population density. We're going to talk about the potential for the Ukraine conflict outgrowing its boundaries. We're going to talk about a new report. Yes, YouTube, before you schwack my pee-pee and delete my channel, I'm going to read the news about a new report that says that natural immunity is more effective than vaccines for certain China-based respiratory illnesses. And then we've got a Florida Man segment. And if people like the Florida Man segment, maybe we'll have a recurring Florida Man segment. Holster guy, come here. But in the meanwhile, as everybody gets their coffee, they get settled into their deer stand, they take a deep breath, they prepare their mind and their heart to receive the informational download. Let me introduce you to Holster Guy. Come over here. Holster Guy. What's up, Holster Guy? What's your name?
What's going on? I'm Garrett. I'm Holster Guy.
Hi, Garrett. What's your company?
Ford Holster Company.
Ford Holster Company. You're an American, right?
Yes, sir.
We're in America.
100%.
So you make shit out of American stuff.
Absolutely.
So you do Kydex.
Yes, sir.
And so, like, if I wanted a holster for my gun, you would do something like that?
Absolutely.
If I wanted a holster for a tourniquet, you'd sell them to refugemedical.com, and then people could buy them there. What else do you do?
We do magazine carriers inside the waistband, outside the waistband. We do some law enforcement related gear like handcuff cases.
Law enforcement. Do you know anything about that?
A little bit. I spent 4 years in the service. I was a SWAT team.
No shit. Really? Wow.
Yes,
all right. Cool.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of subject matter expertise.
A little bit of experience.
Now you got a wife and kids. You're trying to live the American dream.
Yes, sir.
And so what's your website?
FordHolsterCompany.com.
Ford Holster Company. You see that? Not Chevy Holster Company. Ford Holster
Not
Company.
Chevy.
Definitely not Dodge Holster Company.
Definitely not Dodge.
All right.
Yeah.
FordHolsterCompany.com. Yeah.
We want them to work and be reliable.
Thanks, bro.
Thanks, man.
Get the hell off my camera. All right. Bear Independent Brief, 27 November 23. Even though the Israel-Hamas truce is underway, social unrest continues to boil throughout the United States because of this conflict. Most recently, 3 Palestinian American Arab students were shot in Burlington, Vermont. The American Arab Anti-Discrimination Committee wrote in a statement. Okay, so let's get this straight. 3 Palestinian American Arab students were shot in Burlington, Vermont. The American Arab Anti-Discrimination Committee, which is apparently a thing, so I would encourage everybody within the sound of my voice to start your own bullshit acronym organization. And if you want to be a scumbag, get you a 501c3, file that. It's a couple $100. You get a pending status on that. And then once you're in pending status, you can do whatever the hell you want, not pay taxes on it. And I would even recommend, did I say the quiet part out loud? You should start like 3 or 4 different front companies, and they should all be politically aligned with the left because that's who's in control right now. And then you can get a whole bunch of grants to fund your activities, and then don't do anything. Don't do anything in line with whatever their agenda is. You just keep doing your own thing, but fund it with their money. To which you could argue, but wait a minute, that's taxpayer money. You're correct. Well, I don't want to abuse the tax. I agree, but here's the thing: it's taxpayer money that they already took from you. Go get some of it back. Just saying. So the American Arab Anti-Discrimination Committee wrote in a statement, quote, according to the information provided, the 3 victims were wearing keffiyeh and speaking Arabic. A man shouted and harassed victims and then proceeded to shoot them. All 3 are alive and receiving medical care. So they're going to do their best to make this into a race-based hate crime incident. And for all we know, maybe it is. It's entirely possible. Also, what do we know about the 3 students? Now, I'm not saying that the 3 students were terroristic pieces of shit, but I am saying that it's possible that they could have been, right? Possible. Plausible? Yeah, very plausible. Florida guy votes for more Florida man. All right, copy that. Well, we haven't even gotten to the Florida man segment yet. So my point is with the optics. Yeah, they were Arab American students in Burlington, Vermont that were shot by a crazy man with a gun. What were they doing? I don't know. What caused this situation to escalate? I don't know. Could be lots of things. I do want to point out, though, that this is, of course, an indicator of what our friends at Forward Observer call gray zone warfare. This is conflict that does not rise to the level of conventional warfare, but is above the level of normal, everyday capitalistic competition. And where do things like this occur? High population density areas. This was at a school, right? Students in Burlington, Vermont. So be careful when you're out there doing the things, high population density areas. If you live in one, you might strategically relocate. If you have to be in one for work or for school every day, you might want to have a damn plan that you can get in, get out, shut up, and move on with yourself. The protests across the country prompted authorities to take extra care over the Thanksgiving holiday, particularly with airports and shopping malls. Airports and shopping malls, also low population density areas. Do you have an EDC? Do you carry your EDC? Because nobody cares about how cool your 2011 10mm double stack steel framed pistol is if you don't carry it with you every day. With the dot sight and the tritium and the blood. I don't care.
Definitely no one cares.
I don't care.
Airport.
Yeah, precisely. I don't care. Nobody else cares how cool your gun is if you don't have it on you. I don't care, and nobody else cares if you don't have reloads on you. Candy bars, as the kids call them on the streets, apparently. Right? What should be a good EDC, Bear? Pistol, reload, lighter, but I don't smoke. Lighter, you can make fire, which makes warmth. Knife. Are you allowed to handle knives live on YouTube anymore? This is a trainer, okay, guys? This is a trainer. Knife. Tourniquet. And know how to use these things. And what's up, the Iridium Group? The Iridium Group. So your EDC, your medical equipment, and training to be able to use all these things. Because the protests across the country prompted authorities to take extra care over the Thanksgiving holiday, particularly with airports and shopping malls, not exactly known for their low population density. Ultimately, a few protesters disrupted the 95th Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in Manhattan, but no major crises erupted. Also, just quick poll in the chat. Does anybody even care about the Macy's Day Parade anymore? I have a TV in my house. It's not actually connected to like we don't have cable. We don't have satellite. We don't no, I don't care. Nope. No, Sandy Phillips said. What's that, Michael? Right? Nope. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, who cares? I don't care. Candy bars may cause tooth decay. With proper shot placement, absolutely. There are other places in the U.S. that are especially prone to more heated confrontation. Quote, campuses are not isolated bubbles. Campuses are the outside world compressed. It's reasonable to expect that brutal and traumatic events might turn such insular communities into pressure cookers, end quote, wrote The Guardian's Jennifer Miller. So if you have children of a certain age that you're sending to a campus, or they have elected to go to said campus for whatever reason, whether it's some woke ass liberal school that provides zero actual value, or it's a vocational school, or whatever it might be, are your kids prepped? Are your kids trained? Do your kids have an EDC? Yeah. In Texas now, and I give Texas plenty of shit, and it deserves most of it, but in Texas, you can carry your self-defense weapon on campus. Very cool.
Oklahoma's working on legislation.
Oklahoma's working on legislation for that. Also, if you live in, I don't know, on the reservation, you can do whatever the hell you want. You can throw a Ma Deuce over your shoulder and go walking into biology class because we're on the res, bro. What are they going to do? Call the cops? He's got a Ma Deuce. Let him do whatever he wants to do. My son is learning diesel, child of Yacht 777. I love that. So, like, do your kids have stuff? One of the things that we've been very proactive in this area with doing is providing medical kits and training to all the local schools, to anybody who will listen. Going in, giving them kits, teaching them how to use them, and then also training our kids. Our kids have their own EDC. My oldest daughter has assistant instructed responder 1 more times than I can count. She knows her stuff, right? And so I think my son was in this very room right here in boxing class last night. So train your kids up in the way that they should go so they do not depart from it when they are older. So that when life literally or figuratively punches them in the face, they don't freeze, they act. All right. Let's see. Just a week ago, 40 students were arrested at the University of Michigan during a pro-Palestinian protest. This happened after several major bridges and highways were shut down due to protests in cities like San Francisco, Boston, and Chicago. Now, I don't know about San Fran, but I know in Boston and Chicago, they have snowplows. And 'twasn't me, not that I would be in any position of power in either of those cities, any of those cities. Let's say I was the comptroller or the DOT commissioner. Hey, guys, we got road hazards. Clear the road. Just a line of international S4700s with 12-foot plows and 10-foot wing plows, just bodies everywhere. Do that one time and see how quickly they line up to close the roads next time. Hey, is your hand okay?
Yeah, my hand's great.
You gonna make it?
Yeah, we're actually in a medical building, and I took responder 1. So
okay, cool,
yeah,
cool.
No big deal. I don't mean to brag.
It's actually kind of funny because you're like, oh shit, I'm cut. And I'm looking at this table over here is covered with medical stuff. I'm wearing medical stuff. I'm like, oh, a gauze pad.
The irony is the only thing I used from this table was a 5x9. I went and got liquid skin because I didn't want to take it out one of these kits. I don't want to bleed all over that blue floral.
You could get a lot of money for the bloody blue floral.
Yeah, what would that sell for online? And then I went and got some Coban.
Nice. Coban. Does the holster guy have plans to do Canic? I don't know.
Holster guy does customs, so he will.
Holster guy does customs, so he will. Let's see. Just last Monday, a high school was shut down in Queens for 2 hours when a group of students stormed the hallways waving Palestinian flags and yelling that a teacher needs to go. The teacher had a picture on Facebook of her holding a sign reading, "I stand with Israel." She had to lock herself in her office for her own safety during the incident. She said that calls of violence against her from those in the hallways and online had left her shaken to my core. Wait a minute. Are you telling me the supporters of Palestine acted like barbarous assholes? Because that doesn't sound like anything that they would do. And also, I have 100% noticed you freaking Palestinian simps in the chat and in the comments and on Instagram tell me I need to check my theology. I don't have to do shit, and I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
And maybe you just need to find a different channel to watch.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, we're gonna dox you and protest you. Fucking bring it.
Yeah.
Oh, you said the F-bomb out loud. Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Dude. Guys, we're not hard to find.
807 West Broadway, Spiro, Oklahoma. We're here now. Come get some.
You'll have to drive past the military vehicles to get in the parking lot.
Yeah, and when you call the sheriffs, they're like, oh, okay. When you call the local police, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, our local police rock belt feds. They're our friends.
Yeah.
Come on. Because I don't know if you know this, we have a snowplow.
Yeah.
Yep, and heavy equipment. So I'm 0% concerned about this.
we're not going to plow the roads. You did it beforehand. Joke's on you, buddy.
We pave our own roads.
Let's keep these taxes low.
Yep, 100%. Anyway, so this I Stand With Israel teacher was treated very angrily by a mob of Palestinian simps. Let's see. She had been left shaken to her core. An investigation has been launched in response, and New York City Mayor Eric Adams called the students' actions a vile show of anti-Semitism, saying that it, quote, was motivated by ignorance-fueled hatred, plain and simple, and it will not be tolerated in any of our schools, let alone anywhere else in our city. End quote. Well, blibber blabbered. Speaking of blibber blabber, did you know that this guy is now being accused of sexual abuse? Mr. What's his face? Eric Adams of New York, coincidentally, after criticizing the shit out of the Biden campaign because his city is overrun with illegals, and they're going to have to cut the NYPD by 20% and the fire department and pensions and go trash pickup in the city to 2 days a week just to be able to take care of just to meet the basic needs of all the illegals that they currently have. Well, don't declare your city a sanctuary city. And now that he's been critical of the Biden campaign, guess what gets dropped in his lap? A sexual scandal. Now, to be clear, it's entirely possible that this Democratic mayor piece of shit did have a sexual scandal, and it was covered up until this point. This is called leverage, so that he would do what they want him to do. And once he got vocal about the things they wanted him to do, they said, "Oh, let's just resurface this thing. You wouldn't play ball. Here you go." Surprise, surprise, Miss Lovely Dudley. Precisely. So that's something to keep an eye on. If you live in a place that Mayor Eric Adams can directly affect, move, relocate immediately. You gave what to Heath?
Her phone.
Her phone?
Yeah.
Okay. Like your phone or your work phone?
I only have one phone. I don't have a work phone.
She'd lose it.
I thought you meant like the office phone.
Oh, no.
Yeah, my wife is also pretty good at misplacing her phone. Blackmailed. Nice, KD. Nice.
I get it.
Imagine that. Imagine that. All right, we're going to look at a couple of articles in regarding Ukraine, the expansion of the Ukraine conflict, and natural immunity, and then Florida Man as well. Before we do that, I'm going to put anywhere between 2 and 4 more nicotine pouches in my face. Well, COO Bob comes over here and spends 30 seconds telling you about this company right here, refugemedical.com. Oh, no, you're advertising? Yeah, I am. I'm advertising on my channel.
An advertisement on a channel by a company that he owns? Oh, my God. What a shill.
No.
You are so misrepresented.
That's why I bring you in to do this
That's
now.
what it is, yeah.
I'm like, I can make you the bad guy?
Heck yeah.
So,
guys,
tell me, what do we got?
So you guys have been awesome through all Black Friday, which is super sweet. The Black Thursday, Wednesday, Sunday sale, whatever it was. There's who can keep up anymore? I saw this thing this morning where it was like, guys, have you noticed that the Black Friday deals aren't Black Friday deals? And they were pulling the price history on Amazon of all the Cyber Monday deals and how none of the prices ever changed. So that was super tasty. We didn't do that to y'all. We were completely honest with you and said we're not going to diminish the value of these awesome products. However, we're going to launch a bunch of new stuff for you. And y'all have received that so well. So a bunch of people got free first aid kits. I don't think we have any more free first aid kits that are shipping.
We're out of boogs.
We're out of the boogs. However, what we do have is we still have adventure kits and black multicam kits. So I wanted to hold this up for y'all. We have Bearfax, SOBs, and Bear Mins all available in black multicam. This is a super sweet camo. After this season, we're probably going to be Pareto principling a lot of our kits and slimming down some of our selections. So stuff like this is going to be, I mean, you already know that we don't do this often, but it's going to be even more, spread out.
Look at season. Got my about to send it out video. You guys are the best.
Yeah.
Thanks.
They're literally shipping stuff right now. I personally put probably 70 orders together this morning, and they've still got stacks like that. But the team is just busting butt already for y'all. I want you to know that. So grab a black multicam kit if you haven't already. If you've grabbed a couple of kits, I totally get that. I recommend, family, friends, homies. Ford, Take it easy, bro.
Get over here, Ford.
This guy.
The people have questions. What are
Yeah.
you holding? Armor?
Yeah, he's got.
level 4s.
What do you think? The world's crazy or something?
Oh,
Get over here, Ford.
yeah. I don't believe that.
Tell these people why you don't have any Canic holsters on your website.
Oh, you know what? I just don't have a good answer for you on that.
So, but you
If
can.
you want canic cultures, I can get some canic cultures.
There you go. That's a good answer.
I give what the people want.
There's only 1,078 people here right now,
Yeah.
so at least one of them wants a Canic holster.
Okay.
If you
Okay.
need a Canic, I do have a Canic I haven't shot in 4 years that you can use to model off.
That in of
Yeah.
itself is an indicator.
Yeah, that. I'm sorry, it was a bad gun. I thought it was gonna be good. It wasn't. I got lied to. So
All right, get the hell out of here, Ford.
take it easy.
All right.
Appreciate you guys.
Shalom, brother.
Shalom. So yeah, grab the black multicam while you can, guys. We're not going to be doing a ton of it left. And then if you haven't grabbed,
These are so dope.
I know they're so nice. If you haven't grabbed either your floral or your purple adventure kits, we don't have a ton of them left. We have people emailing, hey, will you hold on to it for us? No, first come, first serve.
Look at this, dude.
We love the idea that like people want to reserve stuff, but we've been telling you that stuff's coming for a while now for Black Friday. So if this is successful, we'll keep the color in stock for a little bit as long as you guys want it. However, we got to go off of the numbers here. So.
And this is a full-blown adventure kit.
Oh, yeah.
This isn't just like it's so pretty. It's still a freaking adventure kit,
Yeah.
man. Like it
goes hard.
literally chock full of medical stuff.
Yeah.
The adventure kit is badass. And look at this. Made in the USA.
USA.
So this pattern is called Beach Party.
Yeah, it is.
And it's, as I understand it, it's a blue floral pattern.
It is.
I'm also the most colorblind guy you've ever met. And then also, as I understand it, this is a royal purple with reflective.
Yep.
So if you're a little fancy, or if there's a lady in your life that you care about,
Yep.
Either way, we've got a purple and we've got the beach party,
The beach party.
as well.
And we got those in boo-boos too. I don't know that we have any of the purple of the boo-boos left, but I know we have a couple of the blue floral left. These are awesome for moms and aunts and sisters, cars,
daughters,
diaper bags,
new
backpacks.
drivers,
Yeah, all of that. So
backpacks, 100%.
it's not all tactical cool guy stuff like you guys we've been talking about on the brief, or T rather has been talking about on the brief, high density population areas, don't go there. Well, like your kids might still have to go to school. Best to still send them with some stuff that can help them in an emergency situation.
And TSA compliant.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, imagine that.
Wow.
TSA compliant. And our boo-boo kit, like, y'all got mad at me one day. You're like, Bear, I have to buy a stomp bag in order to get Band-Aids. Can you please do something about this? And I was like, yeah, okay, you're right. So we made the boo-boo. This is not your standard boo-boo kit. I mean, you've got an S-mark bandage or a SWAT T in here, stretch wrap and tuck tourniquet in your boo-boo kit.
Yep.
And then you've got, it's just, guys, it's just chock full of stuff. Like, you can work the March algorithm with this boo-boo kit.
So I'll give you a little bit of context here.
You can say one more thing, then we're going back to the news, because these people didn't come here to listen to you shill.
That's right. So I worked at a lot of companies, and like usually the SOP for a company is how can we deplete the cost of the first aid kit or the product, right? And so normally a company would be looking for things to take out of these first aid kits. Something that we have to do here at Refuge is stop people from trying to add things to first aid kits to make them like even better. It's like, yes, you could add IV fluid to the boo-boo bag, but should we? And so I want you to know that that's the culture here is everybody is thinking about like how to make these kits better, how to build them out better for you. So they are chock full with as much of the best components for that kit as we can figure out.
We are product driven first.
Yes.
We are way more product driven than we are price driven. The price is the price. And it's I've said 100 times on camera, but I'll say it again. 5% realized profit margin. 5. That's what we operate this company on. If you have a friend in the restaurant industry that bitches about their profit margin, they operate at between a 10 and 40% profit margin.
Yeah.
We operate at a 5% profit margin. So next time somebody's like, your prices are too high. Sorry, dude, we make shit in America. We guarantee it forever. And I have real Americans that I pay a real wage to because I'm not trying to buy a yacht because the Father is taking care of me. I have everything I need and most of what I want.
And you're not buying enough water for a yacht. It'd be more a helicopter, I think.
Yeah. Blackhawk, probably. UH-60. Chipper patch. Only a handful of these left. What does it say, Bear? Pedophiles aren't people. Chipper Patch. Back to the news. You know, this is the best news channel that you can be on because I'm going to plow through the news for you Monday, Wednesday, Friday and find the things that are like we should actually talk about because 99% of it is just fluffy bullshit. So.
Dang, thank you. Bob ranks up there with Vince from ShamWow.
Wow.
What a compliment.
You know, some people in the Bear
Minus
Nation
the
know.
prostitutes.
I actually, minus the prostitutes that we know of.
Yeah.
That we know of.
I mean, I hurt prostitutes, but it's emotionally, not physically.
I have actually witnessed Bob scream at prostitutes to repent in Las Vegas. So yeah, there's at least one witness on that. I was at the New York State Fair 20 plus years ago. And Vince, the ShamWow guy, was there before he had an infomercial. He just had a booth set up with the NSYNC Backstreet Boys headset, and he had a table laid out, and he had like gallons of water in the ShamWow thing, and he's just doing his thing, man. He's just going at it, and he's like, yeah, and it absorbs this much water and blah, blah, blah. And for the first 10 people that have a $20 bill, I'll give you not one, but two, and blah, blah, blah. And I don't know how. But I'm like, I reach into my back pocket as he's going. I'm like, this guy, I'm mesmerized, dude. It is like straight up wizardry. And I'm like, I'm like holding money in the air, like, pick me.
Pick me for
And
your
so
ride.
the guy from the, because he's up on a little riser, like a stage riser, he's like, my man in the back, and like throws me two of them. And I'm like, yeah. Those friggin' ShamWows sat in the package new on a shelf in my garage for 10 years.
Good grief.
I never used them, but that dude got my $20.
Yeah.
He
So,
earned my $20.
yeah, he did the work.
That was a phenomenal performance. I still have my ShamWow stuff. Nice, RL. Anyway, so Russian propaganda rather than our own propaganda. I don't know. We don't know. Ukraine conflict may expand, according to top military commander. Hostilities could spread beyond the east and south of the country, the general in charge of the border defense told ABC. The east and the south of Ukraine. Well, south of Ukraine, you have, what do you have there? You have Crimea. Then you have, what's that, the Black Sea. And then you have small, nothing countries nobody's ever heard of, like Jordan, Lebanon, Israel. If you go southeast of there, you end up at nothing burgers. Saudi Arabia, no big deal. Not a big deal.
No resources.
And east of Ukraine is a little tiny nothing burger called Russia. So
sounds familiar.
But what's weird about this is the it does. Have you read Ezekiel 37 and 38 lately? It does sound familiar. Newsflash, if you haven't watched that Bible video that I did about Gog and Magog, you should, because we are at a minimum 1,007 years away from that. If it started today, we're 1,007 years away from that. Bear, I disagree because of the indoctrination and propaganda you've been fed. Go read your friggin' Bible. Now, I will also say, because that was very harsh of me, I do have learned brothers and pastors who may disagree with me as well, who are already reading their Bible, and I'm willing to hear their rebuke if they have one. But for people who have been indoctrinated in Sunday church, not so much. Ukraine conflict may expand. The frontiers of the Ukrainian conflict could expand if Russia continues to increase arms production while Kiev's troops are deprived of advanced weapons from Western allies. Lieutenant General Sergei Naev told ABC News. Naev, who is in charge of Ukraine's northern border defense, Russia and Belarus to the north of them, said on Saturday that the battle between Ukraine and Russia had become a resource war, noting that the reduction of Western military aid will have a serious impact on the defense capabilities of the Ukrainian army. Now, why do I care? Macro, because glowing in the dark, it's not cool. You don't want to be a chem-lite, right? I don't want to get nuked. I don't want you to get nuked. I don't want anybody to get nuked. Macro. But there's nothing I can do about that macro. We'll talk to our representative leaders in the Congress that negative. That shit doesn't work. Micro, I care because of this one line. And it's something that in preparedness, like nobody talks about, very few people talk about. Naev, who is in charge of Ukraine's northern border defense. Oh, do you have a border you'll need to defend in SHTF? I bet you do. said on Saturday, which is the day of rest, shouldn't be talking to reporters, but whatever, that the battle between Ukraine and Russia had become a resource war, noting that the reduction of Western military aid will have a serious impact on the defense capabilities of the Ukrainian army. A resource war. An army marches on its what? Stomach. Two-thirds, historically, from the dawn of mankind, 66% of casualties incurred during warfare are your fault. They're my fault. They're not the enemy's fault. 1/3 is disease and infection. Do you have a med kit? Do you know how to use it? Do you know the 4 basic food groups of long-term wound care? Gauze, tape, gloves, disinfectant, which, by the way, our brother Cracker turned Toro over here told me earlier that the surgical buckets are back in stock at Refuge. So I forgot to mention that, but I'm mentioning it now, as are the wound care buckets. Wound care, infection. Infection and disease is 1/3 of your casualties. The other 1/3 is logistics. Do you have food, water, fuel, medicine, ammunition, building supplies, more boots, more socks, more undies, more pants, jackets, gloves for your people because it gets cold in 2/3 of the country. Cold in the winter, like kill you cold. Do you have a way to stay dry?
Yep.
Do you have batteries? What do I need batteries for? I've got rechargeable batteries connected to what? Connected to my solar generator. Okay, how does that help you when you're out patrolling your perimeter and your battery goes dead? Or when it's cold and your battery goes dead, because rechargeable batteries go dead faster in the cold, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's logistics. It is a resource war. It's always been a resource war. If it wasn't always a resource war, why is NATO, aka America, spending all of your taxpayer money in Ukraine if it's not a resource war? It's always been a resource war. It's always going to be a resource war. And everything we do today, whatever it might be, is a resource war. The battle between your pocketbook and the grocery store is a resource war. Your ability to buy a house is a resource war. Your mutual assistance group is a resource war. It's all a resource war. It's always been a resource war. And people don't talk about it enough because Daniel Defense doesn't put wheat in buckets.
Yep.
Right? It's not sexy. It's not cool. I don't care what kind of rifle you have if you don't have food. Don't care one bit. If you don't have water storage, I don't care what kind of load-bearing equipment you're running or what level your plates are. 0% impressed. If you can't literally walk a mile, I don't care what kind of cool guy shit you have. It's all a resource war. Your belt line is a resource war. You're either taking in too many resources or you're not consuming enough resources. You're not spending the resource of your time to go in PT. It's all a resource war. All of it. Life, physicality is a resource war. The only thing that's not a resource war that's freely given is the love of Elohim and the sacrifice of his son. That's it. Everything else you do here on planet Earth is a resource war. And so that's why I wanted to read that article, to make that point. I don't care what the rest of the article says. It's to illustrate the point that this is a resource war. It's always a resource war. And we have to get out of, as our brother Saul would say, our myopic paradigms of what SHTF is going to look like. If you knew that, you'd be perfectly prepped for it already, wouldn't you? If I knew it, I wouldn't be on this damn camera. I'd be in my bunker somewhere behind my machine gun.
Yep.
I'd actually probably be hanging out with my wife and my sheep. That's probably what I would be doing, right? If I knew SHTF was imminent, I'd call the bros, be like, hey guys, it's coming. 72-hour notice. Warno, SHTF. And that would be that. But we don't know what it's going to look like or when it's going to come. But I guarantee you it will be a resource war when it comes, because it will be here on this earthly plane. And everything on this earthly plane is a resource war. And I'll tell you this just out of conviction. I was thinking about this on the ride into town with my wife this morning. I think the next big play, I don't know this. I'm not preaching on this. I just think, just so we're on the same page, I think the next big play is going to be increased civil unrest leading up to the 2024 election. And if Trump gets elected, the next pandemic is going to be rolled out that fast.
They got to take power.
Because that pandemic 1.0 was an exercise in control over people to see who would comply and who wouldn't comply. And believe me, both of those groups were plotted on a map.
Yeah.
Both of those groups are in databases. Who will and who won't. And so I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm saying it because I'm convicted on it. I think the next big thing will be pandemic 2.0, which gets, and we're already seeing RSV. There's a pretty virulent strain of RSV going around right now that's disproportionately affecting children. Have a way to disinfect. Wash your damn hands. Disease and infection, 1/3 of our casualties. Have nursing stuff in your home. What's nursing stuff? Be able to take care of somebody while they're sick. Basic stuff. Clean bed sheets, soap, bleach, colloidal silver, whatever that master tonic thing is my wife made that makes my eyes water when I just look at the jar. The elderberry syrup that she gave me without telling me that it was mostly grain alcohol. That's what killed the infection. Whatever it was the grain alcohol. That, and I started coughing up the stuff in my lungs.
I like
But-
elderberry syrup so much.
yeah, it is.
God damn.
Because it's 90% grain alcohol. But my point is, I think that the next big thing, what I see coming on the horizon, aside from macro war and rumors of wars, because that is ongoing, that is very likely going to happen. We've already got two different areas of the world, Eastern Europe, Ukraine, and Israel, the Middle East. But they, on a map, they're not that far from each other, but they are different, technically different regions. That's already cooking off. That's already happening. And there's still a likelihood, although arguably a lower likelihood, but still a likelihood that something happens between China and Taiwan. That's macro stuff. I think in the micro, within the next 12 months leading up to November 2024, we're going to see a massive amount of civil unrest leading up to this election. And if this election doesn't go the way the big they want it to go, you will have pandemic 2025. And Gates and the World Economic Forum have already wargamed this. And they've already decided it's a respiratory illness that disproportionately affects children. So if you have children like I do, take precautions to be able to protect them from that bullshit. And frankly, I'd rather keep my kids home for 3 months and find out it was nothing than just continue to meander through life. And, oh, well, now we got to figure out where the family burial plot's going to be. I don't want that. I don't want that for my brothers. I don't want that for my household. I don't want that for you. So ear to the ground on that one. All right. What else? Speaking of, from blazemedia.com, what did you say?
I said, be ready to stay home.
Be ready to stay home. We stayed home when COVID first hit and nobody knew what it was. We didn't know if this was the Black Plague or not.
Right.
We stayed home for 90 days.
Yep.
And you know what? We're still here.
Yep.
It worked fine.
Yeah.
It worked fine. So be ready to stay home. And I'm telling you, it's the holiday season. People are going to blow money on stupid shit this time of year. Maybe don't. Maybe, like, if you're going to spend money, spend it on things that matter, and realize that the most precious resource that you have is your time and attention. And so thank you for spending your time and giving me your attention this morning. I genuinely appreciate that. Also, be careful what you point your mind and your eyes and your heart towards. Way more than, this thing is on sale. Who cares? What function does this thing perform? And if it's not the preservation of life, why do you need it? Well, it makes me feel good. There's lots of things that make me feel good that are completely unrighteous.
There are tens of thousands of companies who are spending hundreds of millions of dollars to get your attention during the last 5-day span.
Yep.
How important is your attention if they are using the resources to get it?
Yep. Very.
Very.
From a business standpoint, I can tell you in 2023, the most important thing that I can get from a potential customer, potential client is their attention.
Yep.
That's it. right? And a lot of people don't engage in e-commerce, so they don't understand how it works. Once you have somebody's attention, they are in your funnel. And now the goal is to get somebody to navigate through a series of gates and fences to qualify them as a buyer to get them to buy my thing. It's all about that. We take a slightly different approach, i.e. come on here and try and speak truth to people that we actually care about, because everything we do is founded on the Father's word and supported by y'all, the Bear Nation. Our mission statement is right there. To save lives while in service to the Father's kingdom and experience the abundance of his provision and blessing. Not your provision and blessing, not the world's provision and blessing, his provision and blessing. And I would submit that means that we don't get a yacht. We don't want a yacht.
No.
We want grass and sheep, dude. That's what we want. We want healthy children.
Need more timber. Like
yeah. What do I want? A sawmill.
Hebrew stuff. Like
Hebrew stuff.
Just, what can make us less dependent on Babylon and more dependent on the Father? That's what's the resources to.
Is this decision moving me closer to Yah or closer to the world?
Yeah, because those are your options. There's no other. There's stagnancy is not an option.
Yeah. Is it preservation of life?
Yep.
Or is it elevation of self?
Yep.
Sawmill says, oops. All right. From the Blaze. Natural immunity provides better protection against COVID than vaccines, even against hospitalization, new study finds. People with natural immunity to COVID-19 have better protection against the respiratory disease than those who received mRNA vaccinations, according to a new study. A group of researchers from Estonia took a pool of 329,000 adults between February 26, 2020 and June 25th, 2021. The analysis was based on data from 246,000 individuals who qualified as one of four categories. So significantly sized study.
Yeah.
This isn't 20 people we're talking about and then extrapolating the data. 329,000 adults. The scientists categorized the individuals as those with no immunity against COVID, those with natural immunity from previously being infected, those who had vaccine-induced immunity, and those who had both natural immunity and who were vaccinated against SARS-CoV-2. Quote, natural immunity conferred substantial protection against COVID-19 hospitalization, the authors wrote in a study. Our studies show that natural immunity offers stronger and longer-lasting protection against infection, symptoms, and hospitalization compared to vaccine-induced immunity. The Epoch Times reported people who received a vaccine were nearly 5 times as likely as the natural immune to test positive for COVID-19 during the Delta era and 1.1 times as likely to test positive for COVID during the Omicron era, researchers in Estonia found. Individuals who were vaccinated against COVID were 7 times as likely to be hospitalized during the Delta variant era and 2 times when the Omicron variant was spreading, according to the outlet. The study declared that hospitalization due to COVID was extremely rare for those with hybrid immunity. The researchers discovered that hybrid immunity had substantially lower rates of reinfection than those with natural immunity. However, the protection was diminished during the Omicron period. The Estonian researchers noted, quote, studies on the effectiveness of COVID-19 vaccines suggest that protection against SARS-CoV-2 decreases over time, waning considerably after 6 months. Which is why the boosters were rolled out, which again, if you look at it from a compliance standpoint, is to see who will jump through the hoops and who won't. The authors concluded, quote, our findings suggest that the risk of infection and of developing severe disease is affected not only by age and comorbidities, but also by personal history of immunity conferring events and by the viral variant responsible for the epidemic. Therefore, personalized risk-based vaccination strategies could be both effective and cost-effective. Study that was published 21 November in the Scientific Reports, a peer-reviewed journal that is in part of the Nature portfolio and covers natural sciences, psychology, medicine, and engineering. In February, a study was published that declared that natural immunity provides at least as high, if not higher, levels of protection against COVID-19 as 2 doses of the mRNA vaccination. The research analyzed 65 studies from 19 different countries and was published in The Lancet, one of the oldest and most respected medical journals in the world. So,
Snopes immediately.
yeah. So, use the immune system that the Father gave you. It's a wonderful, incredible tool designed to keep healthy people here and, sustain life. I almost almost like it's a thing. And Florida man news, because I think we all need a little laugh every now and then. I told my wife that this is us when we're old people. Also from the Blaze, senior charged with felony domestic battery after allegedly throwing Oreos at wife over empty coffee maker. I could totally see this going down in my house. Felony domestic battery.
How hard was he throwing the damn Oreo?
I don't know. They say original in the photo, but who knows? It's probably a stock photo. He was pissed they weren't double. I mean, I've had my mornings where I wanted to throw something because there was no coffee, but that's where you you control yourself and you just brew some damn coffee.
Katie Lynn says, "Are there cameras in my cabin?"
What's up, Dr. Trev?
Madam Secretary just told me that we have 30 boogies left. Actually,
Okay, so that's a over 250 order.
over 250, you get a free boogie.
Roger that. 30 boogies left. Every order over 250. The next 30 orders over 250 get a free boogie, and then that's it, right?
Boogie, woogie, woogie.
And we made what 600 of those.
I don't even know.
I know the original order to that sew shop was for 1,000, and because of Hamas, 7 October 23, they were like, "Do you want first aid kits, like the big ones, or do you want boogies?" And I was like, well, "Let's go with a little bit of both."
Yep.
So, let's see. A Florida man was arrested and reportedly admitted to throwing his wife a bag of Oreo cookies that knocked her over. Lake County Sheriff's Office arrested John Sandoval, a 70-year-old male, who was allegedly upset at his wife about their coffee maker not having any water in it. The married couple of 40 years were sitting at the table when they began arguing about the coffee maker, a report allegedly described. Sandoval then became aggressive and threw an entire package of Oreo cookies that hit his wife in the chest, which caused her to fall. A standard Oreo resealable package is 14.3 ounces, which equates to about 0.89 pounds. I just want to be clear. I'm not advocating that anybody beat their wives. I just think it's pretty damn funny that a group of seniors was having an argument over coffee versus Oreos. But also, keep your shit in check. All right, just make coffee next time.
Somebody had a great line. They brought up a good point. This is why we really need to put a capacity limit on Oreo boxes.
Yeah, was that a max?
Nobody needs 30 Oreos.
Assault style Oreo package.
Just very black assault Oreo.
They are black.
Yeah,
so
see,
that's true. They're dangerous.
Racist.
Now you know, Florida man. Now you know I have Oreos in my EDC. That's funny shit.
These are weapons. You not read the news?
You're getting swarmed by people and you just start chucking Oreos at them. Next time we see Dudley, he's going to have a package of Oreos on his Batman belt.
Like the Sonic coin dispenser. It'll be Oreo.
Some Chips Ahoy in there. Some Rolos, you know.
Oh, God.
All right. That's the show, everybody. We're going to do the value exchange now. And I'm not going to invite you to leave because I think we've provided value thus far. I think you could stick around for a few minutes. I'm going to go pee. Speaking of sticking around, I'm going to not do that. My brother Bob is going to tell you about refugemedical.com. Of course, we have Patreon always. The link is in the description. Thank you to the patrons. Guys, it's $10 a month. It's the best $10 you can spend on the internet. Believe me, I hear that. Almost every video that posts on Patreon, somebody will comment, this one video was worth my $10. This one. And there's a couple dozen videos per month that come out on Patreon. So, plus the best live streams we do are on Patreon Thursday night. So, with that, I'm going to go pee. Bob, you tell the beautiful people about all these fine products from refugemedical.com. Maybe show them that sick Justin Nazarene leather coat pouch, which, by the way, I meant to shout out our bro and sis at Justin Nazarene Leather Co. on the Hardcore Shill Fest that I did Saturday night after sundown.
Yeah.
And I didn't, so I apologize. But if you need leather goods, Just a Nazarene Leather Co. You could just search for Nazarene Leather on Google or DuckDuckGo or whatever, and you'll find them. But they make awesome stuff, including for us in that kit right there. And now I go pee.
Boom. Look, it's that kit he was talking about. Oh, my gosh. What's up, you cats and kittens? All you beautiful boys and girls. So this is the Forester here. This is a badass handmade leather pouch. This is American leather. This cow mood here, which I kind of like. I don't want foreign cows. It's weird. It'd be super duper weird. In this, you have a top deploying pocket, right? So that can stay on your belt line, on your feller's belt, on your motorcycle, whatever. Inside the pocket, fully built out blowout kit. High quality stuff right here. Also, you got your USA tag, so that way you know. And then it also comes with a cat tourniquet that stows in the right-hand side of the pouch like so. Put all that good stuff back in there. And then the tie cord that comes on it is red. Some people asked, so we started supplying a black tie cord as well. That way, in case you didn't want it to be red or high vis, it didn't match with anything. Give you a little bit of options, you know. Got to give the people options. So yeah, this is the Forester right here. If you grab a Forester right now, that should qualify you to also get a free boogie. So the next 30 people to purchase $250 or more get a free first aid kit with their stuff. I thought we were out. I'm sorry. I was wrong. Britt came over. She punched me in the head. She was like, "How dare you speak on camera without knowledge?" I was like, "I'm sorry." So next 30 people can go ahead and grab a boogie. Same thing with the black multicam. Bearfac. I recommend the Bearfac, guys, because it's our flagship item. That thing is just built out. It is. We watched all the sales from Black Friday, and just over the course of the year, I watch it pretty closely. And the Bearfac just constantly kills every other first aid kit. And that's just because of the components in it and the price point. You cannot beat it on the market. So you can mount this on a load bearing vest. You can mount it on a plate carrier, on a belt, on a car, a bunch of different ways. And with that, you open up the top, right? Like so. You have your red handle, red first aid, pull in an emergency, boom, right? We pull it right out. And then we can deploy it with one hand, right? Whoa, one hand?
Bro, I have two hands.
But what if you have a mechanical application? Amputation, application, whatever the word is.
An application of the amputation?
Yeah, what if you have an amplification of mechanics?
You're doing great. Keep going.
I'll try.
What's that, a bare minimum?
It's a Bearfac. I'm trying my best, guys. Oh, gosh. Yeah, so that's the Bearfac in the black multicam. There's also SOBs in black multicam, too. A lot of people have been reaching out about that. We've been seeing it in the chat. Like, oh, I wanted an SOB. Guys, we got it for you. Don't worry. Don't stress. All right. It's just I don't have one right here to show you because every time I get something cool like that, Britt takes it and gives it to one of y'all.
An SOB?
Yeah.
Like this?
Yeah. Well, this is in the OG multicam. So SOB being right here, it has the same pocket that the Forester has. So you pull this out, you have your comprehensive blowout kit. My gloves came out. But the gloves do sit on top because if you're going into a first aid kit like this, odds are somebody's bleeding. And if somebody's bleeding, you should probably not touch that.
Can I
it's gross.
ask you a question?
You can ask me a question.
What is this?
Holy smokes. Look at it, people.
What is that? What is that right there?
That is an ankle kit. That is the Refuge Medical ankle
This
fac
is a good
ankle
crotch
kit.
shot, by the way.
It is a
too.
good crotch
I
shot.
like this.
You know what? You guys are really getting it all on the brief today. You asked and we supplied.
We delivered.
We delivered. So yeah, the ankle fac right here. I have
All
one.
orders over $1,000 or more will come with a crotch shot.
There you go. You heard it.
No, we won't do that. That's unrighteous.
So to show you the ankle kit and its construction.
I mean, we might get Yankee to, I don't know, take it up with Liberty.
Yeah. So you have the packed version right here. You can see, obviously, he's got it over the boot, which then his pant leg goes over. These are the Origin Deltas.
These are
the Origin Deltas. So that's a slimmer jean, too.
And let's not forget our friends at Covert Thread Socks.
Heck yeah.
By the way.
Yeah, if you're rucking in the cold, I don't know why you're not wearing Covert Threads.
Or just period.
Just
What's wrong with you?
Yeah,
Just buy some real socks.
What are you, dumb? I'm joking. I'm sorry.
Ow.
Sorry.
This is a Viking preparedness shirt,
Yeah.
too, by the way.
Yeah, Viking preparedness.
Only boots, Jeremy Wood.
Only boots. Yeah, so the ankle kit comes with 3 pouches. A bunch of people have asked, can I put this in that pouch? You can do whatever you want when you buy it because it's your property. You can set it on fire. I don't recommend it. People worked hard on it.
Listen, I'm just saying that this pocket right here will absolutely fit a 38 snub nose.
Oh,
so
that's weird.
That was part of the T&E as well.
I'm positive that probably a Glock 43 could be convinced.
You know
into
what?
such
Hey,
things.
where's your bag? Oh, I'll go get it. No, you keep talking.
Okay.
It's fine.
I'm pretty sure a Glock 43 could be convinced to get in there as well. But you've got the 2 slots right here for a needle D or for 2 Sharpies or, you know, a highlighter, whatever you want to keep in there, 2 pen slots. And then you have 3 Slim Jim. That'd be a great thing to put in your first aid kit, is approximately 1 chomp. Calories, okay? Don't chuckle at me. Clean calories. And then so with that, you could convince an AR mag in there, a couple of pistol mags. There's a lot of versatility inside of this. One of the cool things I like is the design is that it stretches, right? And so we wanted it to conform to whoever was, you know, wearing it, whether it be a TJ size person or a Bob size person or a Brit size person or a Dudley size person. We wanted variety because it's the spice of life, you know? So go, and you can still pre-order right now, right?
Yes.
And these
30 or 30.
there is approximately 20 to 30
Yeah.
of these Bad Mama Jammas left. These will start shipping right around the last week of December.
There's now 11.
There's 11 left, so there's not 30. That was a lie.
Whoa, this friggin' chair rolls.
Yeah, it does. Does it rock though? That's really the
Bro, we built this city.
question. On rock and roll. We'll see. We'll see if it'll fit.
It'll definitely fit.
Oh yeah, we're so up.
I just want to tell you how awesome my wife is. Her EDC includes a granola bar
And a cough drop.
and a cough drop.
And multi-tool.
So we're looking to see how the 43
Because
looks in there. Oh,
YouTube doesn't like it when you handle these things on camera.
Oh.
So I won't actually touch it.
That works.
you're up.
Look at that.
You're up. You could definitely put another mag in there too. at the
Oh,
bottom
man.
of that
Like
pouch.
one of these?
You have one of those.
Wow. Yeah. I bet you I could. I bet you I could. And I could still have room for a tourniquet and wound packing gauze.
way.
Yeah.
No way. I don't believe you.
Look at that. Look at this little pea shooter right there. This is a great airsoft gun.
That is a great airsoft.
I really
gun.
like
one
this
of my
airsoft
favorite
guns.
paintball guns I've ever seen.
Yep. It's,
Um,
it's phenomenal.
So when you grab the ankle fac, you don't necessarily have to keep it fully built out with just first aid gear. Although it is awesome as a first aid kit, you can get 2 of these guys. You can run one as your defense tools, the other is your first aid kit.
This thing is so cute.
Yeah, it's so
It's
small.
so cute.
In your hand, it's
It's like-
ridiculous. He's holding a Glock 43, which might as well be a water gun. It
Yeah,
literally looks like a squirt gun in his hand.
These are Glock 21 hands.
Yeah.
It
You
looks
got
like
43 and a
squirt-
21 hand.
It looks like a squirt gun. That's awesome.
Yeah, so 11 of these ish left. So go and get it while you can, guys, because we don't know how long we're gonna run these.
I bet you they're gone now.
Sojourn Gear is the one that is actually making these. He designed the whole ankle fac for us. We went through, I think, 7 different iterations.
Yep.
And then we did testing on this for a couple of months with this version. And man, it is just a slam dunk. It really, really is. Then I talked about the Forester. I talked about Black Multicam. Do we have any more of the boos and cool colors left? Or
And blue.
in the
Yes.
blue?
Laura Blue.
We'll try to do like a cool pass through here. Like, ooh,
Those are gorgeous.
Wow.
Those are just gorgeous.
Ooh, ooh.
Chipper pouch.
Yeah, the chipper patch is in stock right now. Go grab the chipper patch. We're selling just the chipper patch right now, but that might be an add-on moving forward. We're trying to find a way to still get you guys like cool merch, like the chipper patch and like Timmy the tourniquet.
A lot of people want chipper stickers and not even like small stickers. One guy on Patreon yesterday was like, can you make like a 10 by 16 inch chipper sticker that I can put on the back of my truck? And I was like, we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. That'd be badass. So
We're about to go into a whole new market of things.
little did we know. Oh, skip
We're
ads.
just gonna start selling anti-pedophile propaganda.
Well, I'm fine with that because all of our freaking partners in the industry got real friggin' quiet when we started talking about hunting pedophiles and rescuing kids. Coincidence, I'm sure. It's just a coincidence.
You got really busy at that same
Ooh,
season.
We're just super busy trying to maximize profits over here. Like, all right, roger that.
Yeah.
Whatever you're into.
I'll tell the kids. I'll let them know.
Yes. Hey, we were going to rescue you, but we were busy maximizing profits. So you just stay over here and keep getting raped, all right?
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Meanwhile, Bob shoves his head through a brick wall. at
Chipper
Jesus.
flag. Like,
Sheesh. Chipper
Oh,
flag can happen.
that's a great segue into Caleb House
There you go.
and the Refuge Ruckus. Bob, what's the Refuge Ruckus? What are we doing
Dude,
there?
the Refuge Ruckus is an awesome event that Refuge Medical is putting on in partnership with Caleb House and Grindstone Ministries. And so what we're doing is we're getting all of our homies together, right? We're going to go down to Fort Smith, Arkansas, which is a pretty big city, and it's, not completely taken over by liberals, right? We're going to go down to Fort Smith, Arkansas, and then we're going to put on all of our cool guy gear, our rucksacks, and everything. We're going to look super tough. We're going to carry big flags, big posters, big banners, talking about our absolute disdain for the animals that traffic children. And we're going to bring awareness to the fact that this is not just happening in Tijuana, that this is happening in Missouri, in Illinois, in California, in all of the places that are in the United States, so that the people who want to shove their head in the sand cannot.
And also so that the people who watched a movie and got super passionate about anti-human trafficking for approximately 72 hours realize that there are organizations here in America that are rescuing American kids.
Yep.
Not that I have anything against the people that are overseas rescuing kids over there. In fact, I personally support a couple of those ministries overseas, like with my own wallet, who's going to rescue the kids here? And the answer that we keep getting, because like we go to these events and these networking things, well, it's really hard. Okay, so I guess we just shouldn't do it then. You're right. It's hard. It's hard that Timmy is being trafficked by grandma who has a meth habit that she can't afford. So we'll just let that continue to happen, or that parents can't make their ends meet. So they're literally selling their children into sex slavery. But because it's here in Kansas or in Texas or in Wyoming, it's hard. So we just won't do it because it's hard.
Well, think about
That-
all the paperwork.
That is the
you're gonna have
most
to do.
bullshit statement I've ever. It's hard. I don't want to do it. Could you sound more like a whiny bitch?
Yeah, dude.
It's hard.
You think it's
Wah.
hard for you?
Yeah. No shit.
Think about that for a second.
Go tell that kid it was too hard, so I didn't come rescue you.
Yeah.
There was a lot of red tape. Sorry,
Sure, it's
bro.
really easy for them.
Yep.
Yeah. Come on, guys. Like,
Ugh.
either you believe the book is true and you have faith, or you don't. And that's kind of just where you need to be with such hard topics, because you've been reading that book online. We just saw that the Pizzagate guy who was in charge of telling us that Pizzagate wasn't true just got arrested for trafficking children.
Imagine that.
So you see it, right? Be about it. I love the fact that people want to throw up pedophiles aren't people on the back of their vans. I think that's super cool. Or fly flags. I think that's awesome. You can have that same exact energy right now. You don't need a flag. You don't. You see, like, we all have eyes to see. We all have ears to hear. If you're going to fly that flag, but they're doing drag queen story time at your local library, I have questions. Because it's about you then. It's not about the kids.
Proverbs 25:26. A righteous man who gives way before the wrong is like a muddied spring and a ruined fountain, a.k.a. useless. A righteous man who gives way before the wrong is useless. We were not created in the image of Elohim to be useless. No. Exodus 15:3, Yahweh is a warrior. Yahweh is his name. And he didn't make you to be a sopping wet pussy who just talks about how bad things are. And he didn't make us to be that way either.
Nope.
We have to do something about this. And praise Yah, we are. And the only way we're able to do anything about this is because our God is God, and because you guys and girls support us in what we do. And there will never be an adequate word to convey the thanks that I have to y'all for that, because we have never gotten a dime of federal funding or state funding. I will never take it, because I will not play those woke games that they require you to play when you take that money.
Solid.
And I don't want to be beholden to those people, because those people are part of the damn problem. And so we are wholly dependent upon the provision and blessing and protection of the Creator. And he uses many of y'all to provide that. So thank you for that. And that's what Refuge Ruckus is about. It's an event to go and show people that there are people doing something about this here.
Yep.
Because the problem is here as well as everywhere else. America is the number one offender. Then 85% of known pedophiles that are captured around the world are American. 54% of all of the sites that are trading in PTHC, preteen hardcore, and infant rape and snuff films are in America. $150 billion a year industry, 17,000 kids per month go missing in America. But it's just too hard to do something about it here. That's bullshit. See, because too many people conflate easy and good. They think, well, if it's God's will, he'll just pave the way and he'll make it happen for us. Have you read the Bible? Have you read the Bible? No, it's still going to be hard.
Yeah.
He's just going to steward you while you do the hard things. And if he wanted you to be a sop and wet P word, that's what he would have made you. Go read the book of Genesis, the early chapters 2 and 3. The reason man was created was to rule and subdue, to work the garden and guard it.
Yep.
That's why men were created, to work the garden and to guard it. Guard it. You can't do that if you're just a really nice guy. And you don't get to bitch about how hard it is to guard the garden. And if he wanted you to be a woman, he would have made you a woman. Men were created in the wilderness and then brought into the garden. Women were created in the garden. That's why they're better at nurturing. That's why they're more orderly, generally speaking. Men are a little bit more wild.
Yeah.
And that we have to be that way because I have to go kill all the bad things in the wilderness so that they don't get into the garden and ruin the garden. So
we have to be able to stand between evil and good. We have to. What is meekness? Meekness is great ability and control, right? It's the idea of I can absolutely cause destruction and chaos and mayhem. I choose not to because the Lord is sovereign, because he hasn't cleared it. And then when he does clear it, it will be in his name, right? Which is a whole other thing the modern Christian church doesn't want to talk about.
It's
God is love, brother.
It's the capacity for violence, righteous violence, balanced with wisdom and discernment. That's the Hebrew definition of meekness. It doesn't mean be a really nice guy or be a pushover. And people will quote Messiah saying, "Well, turn the other cheek," and they won't understand that Messiah, when he said that, was quoting the prophet Micah, who was called in front of the two kings of Judah, the house of Judah and the house of Israel, asked, "Should we go to war?" And Micah said, "Absolutely not. This is stupid. You're going to spend the lives of the men of Israel in vain if you choose to do this." And another false prophet walks up and slaps Micah across the face and says, "Don't talk to the king like that." And then Micah turns his other cheek to him and says, "I will speak only what Yahweh my Elohim tells me to speak." That's what it means to turn the other cheek.
Dude.
It doesn't mean be a pussy.
That's like the opposite of being a pussy. It's like you get punched in the face and you're like, actually, please, sir, can I have another?
Yeah.
Like, I'm still going to do this because it's the right thing to do.
Exactly.
In the face of adversity.
Knowing that he's telling two kings in front of their entire court and all these false prophets, they're wrong.
Yep.
And this is a bad idea. What's the likelihood that he's going to survive that? Basically zero.
Yep.
And he's like, "Don't care. I'm going to do what Yah tells me to do. I'm going to say what Yah tells me to say. Even if you will kill me, don't care." Because ultimately, whose life is it anyway? It's not yours. Yah made you for a purpose. His purpose.
Yeah.
Not your purpose. And the real blessing is that when you're walking in his purpose, doing his will, as a byproduct, you will experience provision, protection, and blessing. So much so that Deuteronomy 28, all these blessings shall come upon you and overtake you. You'll be so blessed, you won't even know how to steward all of it. Ask me how I know. But it's hard. And people don't talk enough about the fact that it's hard, and it's supposed to be hard. Because if it was supposed to be easy, Yah wouldn't have made you in the first place. Because if it was easy, you wouldn't need him to do it. And you do. We take for granted the fact that we even woke up this morning. We go looking for these big Broadway musical miracles to happen in our life.
There's air.
And we forget the fact that we're alive. And that's a miracle. How much shit do you take for granted every day that's an absolute blessing? Because your priorities are wrong, because your focus is wrong, your alignment is wrong. You take for granted the fact that the creator of the universe loved you enough to not only make you, but to bring you home again in spite of your sin and to use you for his glory. And you will be blessed richly in the doing of. But see, that doesn't preach on Sunday mornings.
Right.
All
It's
right.
all right, brother.
Let's pray.
Let's do it.
Good morning, Father Yah. Father, thank you for how richly you have blessed us. Thank you for the burden of command. Thank you for all of the responsibility and stewardship that comes along with blessings. Thank you for fearfully and wonderfully creating us in your image, that we might be good stewards, that we might be men of war, that we might go outside the garden and slay the giants in the promised land and rid the wilderness of evil. Father, thank you for the opportunity just to humble ourselves before you. Thank you for loving us enough to make a way for us to come home again by the blood of your Son. Thank you for all the times you smiled upon our businesses and our ministries and our homesteads and our wombs, and just the myriad uncountable blessings that all flow from you. Thank you for choosing us and creating us for this very time, and for teaching us and instructing us by the mouth of Messiah, your living word, and by the words of Moshe, that we might know how to conduct ourselves as men of Elohim. And thank you for still loving us even when we fall short of that mark, and for making a way for us to atone for our sins and our lawlessness when we do fall short of that mark. Father, anything that's within the sound of my voice that is not of you, we come together in agreement and rebuke it in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach and command it to flee. Father, pour out your spirit on all flesh. Give us wisdom and discernment, Father. Peace that surpasses all understanding, and strength and power and authority in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, that we might be your hands and feet and accomplish your will to the best of our broken ability today. Everybody who's going through something right now, Father, that's unspeakable, unfathomable, that is just broken and crying out, I pray that you'd minister to them, and that you would perform undeniable miracles, that it could be only you, that it's nothing but your glory, and that they would see you and come to know you better. Father, thank you for today. Thank you for all the little things that we take for granted. Please continue to keep us vertically aligned and keep our eyes on you. Father, I lift all these people up to you, and I ask humbly that you would protect them, provide for them, and bless them today. I ask these things in Yeshua's name. Amen.
Shalom, y'all.
Shalom. Thanks for being here. Thanks for keeping us covered in prayer. I have said many times, and I will say again, you guys ask me all the time, what does Caleb House need? The primary thing that we need is the covering of prayer and the blessing of our Creator for the victim services teams, for the offensive teams in the field, and for the kids that are being restored. Everything else flows from Yah. And if we're supposed to have it, we'll get it in his timing by his will. Bless y'all. Shalom.